I'm here with Felix of Dominum to talk about their upcoming new record, The Dead Don't Die. Go figure. I think if you watch enough The Walking Dead, you probably realize that the dead actually don't die. The album comes out December 27th on Napalm Records. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me about the music, about the record, about the band. How are things with you?
Thanks for having us. Things are going great, actually. I'm in the middle of an interview marathon, which is a great thing. So people care, which is good. So yeah, everything's going quite well. Thank you.
Before we talk about the music, I have to ask you, are you a fan of horror movies or The Walking Dead specifically? Are you a fan of that kind of show?
That's the weird thing because like that's the ultimate thing you would think when you like see Dr. Dead and the zombies and blah blah. Of course, I the idea to Dominum came during watching The Walking Dead. This story has been told before, but I'm not a super duper fan of like super gory horror movies at all. I'm a very maybe a soft person that's too fragile to watch too heavy stuff. So Dr. Dad is always keen that the zombies are family friendly, that that the meals are always healthy. No, just kidding. I do like a horror movie, but it does not. I'm not watching the craziest stuff. I need my sleep.
So when you look at yourselves as a band on stage in your performances, are you guys more like the zombies in The Walking Dead, or are you guys more like the zombies on the train to Busan?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question because there are many types of zombies. There are zombies that are too fast. There are zombies that are boringly slow. For example, the zombies in the Last of Us, they are so fucking fast. I was like, no, that's too fast. I'm going back to Dawn of the Dead. I would say the zombies in Dominum are most likely the Walking Dead zombies. They are not too aggressive and they're not too slow. They are just the perfect amount of aggressiveness. So yes,
So they're,
aggression.
they're
That's
they're just right on the spot when it comes to
that's right on the
zombiness.
spot.
When it comes to
Exactly.
zombies.
When it comes to zombiness.
You guys released your debut record back in 2023. How much of the success, because that album was very successful for you guys. So how much did that success impact you guys coming into this follow-up album?
I mean, to be really honest, we never really stopped writing music because when we delivered the first record, we knew that if Hey Living People, the first record, would be some kind of a success, some people will come and ask, "Hey man, so what about the second record?" And I didn't want to be like in a position where I'm like, okay, then I'll start writing some music now because for a first record, you have whole your life.
Hmm.
For a second record, you have half a year actually. And I didn't want to be in that position. So I never stopped writing music. I'm writing music all the time um to be able to deliver good music. Because what's really important in Dominum is we don't want to release any medium stuff. This stuff has to be good. I don't want anyone to think because we know those records. I mean, you know those records where you're like, yeah, that's cool, but they might have run out of some time here. I didn't want any record, I don't want any release that we do to be perceived like this. I just want it to be good. So this is why I never stop writing music and always be able to deliver.
Does that put an extra strain on you, the fact that you're not taking specific breaks in between records in order to even maybe evaluate what was done in terms of what worked, what could we've done better? If you're continuously writing music, it feels like it's more of a fluid and linear process where maybe it won't give you a chance to look back because you're keeping looking forward.
Yeah, you might think that, but we played 60 shows and the evaluation is going on all the time. We are evaluating after every show and just checking out what did we like, what did the people like, because during the process of writing the first record, we didn't know who we were actually. We just had an idea of what we could be, and then we wrote that record. But those past 60 shows that we played were kind of a therapy because when you go to a therapist, he asks you one question, then you talk for 60 minutes, and after that, you know better who you are, right? And this is what it felt like playing those 60 shows for the people because in the end, it feels like Dominum right now is a more mature version than 1 year before.
As you would expect it to be, with that experience of playing live shows and see what works best and what doesn't work as well. As songwriters, how do you guys approach the creative process? Is it all on your shoulders? Is it a team effort? Do you guys divide and conquer?
So mostly I would say I'm involved somehow. No, I'm all the time involved somehow. But on this record, I tried a few different things out because I'm a huge fan of collaborations. When you do something, it doesn't really matter what you do. When you do it with someone that you like, someone that you respect, it's gonna be better. And this is what we tried very much on that record. There are two songs that I wrote together with Ben from Feuerschwanz, The Dead Don't Die, and One of Us. There is one song that Tommy wrote out of the band, the guitar player. And there's also from Saltatio Mortis, the guitar player, I wrote songs with him. It's a very cool thing because when I write a song for myself, I have an idea, I play it, I sing it to my phone, I record it whatsoever, and then I have 7 sleepless nights. Is it good? Is it the best thing I can do? Blah blah blah. It's a nightmare. But when you are sitting with one person in the room and you play it and he says, "Dude, I think this honestly sucks," then you're not mad, you're just grateful. All right, thank you. Put it away and play something else. So you have that immediate feedback loop, which makes it very efficient and also very healthy because you don't have that situation where you are like sleepless nights and all that. Yeah. So
And speaking of collaborations, you mentioned Ben. He's on one of the tracks. How did that partnership come about? How did you think that he would be a good fit to collaborate with on some songs on this record?
So Ben is a good friend of mine. He lives in the same town as me. So it wasn't that far off that we said, come on, let's write a song. Because we wrote Feuerschwanz songs together as well. And then we were like, let's write a Dominum song. And he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So we wrote that song, The Dead Don't Die, which was the first one that we did together in one day, which was a mind-blowing experience because I had one MP3 that I could listen to after one day. This is heaven. Amazing. And then when we listened to it, I was like, you know what this song could take? It could take a good feature of Ben Metzner. He was like, you are right. And so we just did it. That was like
And it sounds
pure.
amazing. Like it's a great track.
Thank
It,
you.
I feel like it's if it's firing on all cylinders. You get the most out of that song by having him involved in it. I really feel like you guys were able to unlock the next level, the next gear that perhaps without him, it would still be a solid song, but it wouldn't reach that full potential.
I think so too, because like the verses are very, I mean, it's dum, bididim, dididim, didim. It never changes actually, the whole song. And with his voice, it gets another layer of colors in there, which would have never been able to do it myself because I'm just one singer, you know.
You're a very good singer, very good singer. And where did that come from for you? Has it been always a natural ability that you've had since you were little, or one day you're in the shower and you're singing and somebody's like, dude, you should start a band?
Oh wow, this is you want to hear the long answer to that?
Please. I want to get the most out of you out of that answer.
Yeah, so that's a good question because this has never asked before, so I'm very excited now to tell that story because I was always singing. I really love singing. It's great, and I had like most of us, we had those a metal band where you met up with your friends and then you had like a few beers and then just did some music. So we played a lot of gigs, and I never had any issues with my voice. Um, to that one day where we played a show also here in Nuremberg. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was singing and I was hitting that one high note because I'm singing high all the time. I can't sing low, so I'm singing high all the time. I was singing that very high note and just came out of my throat. I was like, all right, that is weird. Yeah, never mind. And I was playing guitar at that time as well. I was like, and just shit came out of my mouth, which is very frustrating when you're on stage and have to perform. So I was like, okay, that's a bad day. Next gig, next week, same thing after 20 minutes. And it got more and more frustrating because when you want to sing and you can't sing, it's horrible. So I was having a vocal coach at university where I was studying, and he was giving me some lessons and stuff. And I was like, yeah, but it must be something organic then. Because I'm having a vocal coach, he's telling me that everything is fine. So it must be something with throat. So I traveled to that special doctor in Berlin, which is far away from here. I had to pay it myself because insurance wasn't paying for that. So it was like very expensive. And he was checking my vocal cords. And he was like, "No, everything is fine. Let's go into the piano room because, of course, like those doctors have a piano fucking room." So we went there and did some singing. And in the end, he was like, "Yeah, but you're not singing higher than this, right? Aren't you?" And I was like, "Well, this is where I usually start." And he was like, "All right, then I know what's going on. You just can't sing." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, you just can't sing. Get a proper vocal coach, get the most expensive one you can find, take some lessons, and everything will be fine." And this is what I did. And after two vocal lessons, the pain of 2 years of having, because it was a period of 2 years where I was having so crazy issues, was gone. So I was very close to not sing again in my whole life because I was like, when this doctor doesn't find anything, I have to stop because the process is too frustrating. So thanks to this doctor that told me that I can sing, I'm able to sing right now.
Well,
Yay!
and just to think about it, you paid all that money for him to tell you that you can't sing.
Yeah, but in the end, it was the right thing.
Yeah, yeah, it was the
But it was a fun invoice.
You should go back at some point in time if you're ever in Berlin, pay him a visit,
Yeah.
and thank him for your singing voice. I think that would be quite the going full circle in this story of yours. I love it. When you play this record back and you listen to what you guys have done, where do you see the biggest strength of this album?
I think this album has way more street credibility than the first one. It's still polished because that's just what I like, but it's still way rougher than the first one. Because when you know better who you are, you could just write better music. And so we are darker than we thought we were. And I also think that this record is a bit darker and more mature again. So I think the strengths would be, yeah, the street credibility, maybe.
So,
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, but do you mean when you say darker, do you mean darker sound-wise, darker lyrically, or darker from an overall atmosphere of what the tracks offer?
Atmosphere. Because lyrically, I would say Dominum has this special humor that, because in the end, Dominum is a positive band, to me at least. It's when I listen to it, I can get, even from the darker songs, I can get something positive out of it. So that this is also what we feedback that we get from our fans after show. They were like, "It's so great to see you. It's fun. It's entertaining. Blah blah blah." So we seem to be a positive band, but the whole atmosphere can be still dark, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And I think this is what it is.
You guys find that fine line between where it becomes too dark and very hard to bear to still making it slightly lighthearted, almost like Ash Against the Army of Darkness in the Evil Dead series. I don't know if you ever watched that.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
It's a comedy horror movie. So it's a
What's
horror
it called
movie.
again?
Ash versus the Army of Darkness. I think you can find it as just the Army of Darkness. It's the
Okay.
third installment in the Evil Dead series.
Okay. I'm checking that out right away.
So yeah. I mean, it helps if you watch the previous two to find out exactly why he's doing what he's doing in the third one. But the first two are like old school horror movies, like people in the cabins, like that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
More like slasher, old school horror. And then the third one is horror, but it's horror with comedy. So I think you
All
guys
right.
landed on that.
Okay. Looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah, check it out. Lyrical wise, how do you approach the lyrical process? Is it similar to the same way you approach the music when it comes to the creativity behind it?
There always has to be one idea at the beginning. Lyrics come very last in my songwriting process, but the idea for the lyric has to be there at the very beginning. So I can't write a song like We Are Forlorn that's not called We Are Forlorn first. So I need we call that a catchphrase. Then write the music around it with some, it must be very like weird for a mother tongue like you speaking English because I have the ability to just sing some random shit in English and then after, which is horrible. Emotion, devotion, you know that game. So it's and after that, we take that blah blah English and put some proper lyrics on it. So this is the way we do it. But the titles, The Dead Don't Die, Guardians of the Night, We Are Forlorn, this is always there first, that the whole music is written, and then we put some ideas on
Well,
top.
this is a really interesting process because I don't think I've ever talked to anybody that had that process that you're putting together. So when you think of the title of the song or the catchphrase, whatever you want to call it, then that influences the songwriting, the music that you're creating the music with that thought in mind.
100%.
Wow, that's super interesting.
So I have my phone is full of ideas, and then when I feel like I want to write a song, I mean it's different every day. But when I would say I wanted to write a song right now with you, then I check my phone, and then we check like, all right, what about this line? Do you think this is inspiring? And then you wiggle around with some sound or with some riff or whatever, and then you see where it's going. I mean, it's different every time, but this I
Mhm.
would say is the most common
Common.
way to do it. Yeah, for
And
me
then
at
at the
least.
last point comes the lyrics. So then you have the sound, you have the catchphrase, then you have to build the lyrics around the catchphrase, but also around the theme that the sound creates, if that's
Yes,
right. Wow, that's a
absolutely.
very elaborate process.
Well, I mean, in the end, people also often ask if it's if I'm feeling caged or in the or trapped in the zombie theme, which I don't feel at all because you can get every human theme that connects with you into the zombie world. You just have to think one twist further. For example, let's say there is a song that's called Happy Deadly Ending. It's about that nothing that has no end makes any sense. So if you would live forever, your life would be kind of worthless. Or if you would like have an infinite amount of money, money doesn't mean anything to you. So, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
in this song, Happy Deadly Ending, one zombie realizes that he can't die. So he realizes that's not a good thing that he can't die. And he would love to die, but he can't. So you can get every aspect of everything into the zombie world. You just have to have a mindset of a zombie or doctor or whatever.
Your level of creativity is phenomenal. I must say, really, like the way you explain it, I love it. And listen to your music. I must say, you mentioned before about being feel good. It is, regardless of the topic and regardless of the direction that you're going. It's very hard to listen to this record and not feel uplifted by it or not feel like you have a smile on your face because it's not a daunting album. It's an album that has a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ebbs and flows, but always super energetic. And I see that in your personality. I honestly feel like the music is a pure representation of who you are, besides the zombie part.
Maybe that's true. I'm a guy that just likes to be happy. So I can't write any music that's super frustrating because then I would not like to listen to it. I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm sometimes not that happy, but I like to be happy. And I can see that also in the audience faces. They just having a good time. And I think in a world that we are living right now that has so many issues on all ends, everything is fucked up, Ticket prices,
Prices, yes, I just
chop suey prices, everything is fucked up. So I just want that people that decide to get in the world of Dominum just have a good time. So this is our mission.
And are you a fan of nursery rhymes?
Yeah, you could say that. Why?
No, because there's some, you have one of the tracks on the record has a little bit of a nursery rhyme backdrop to it in terms of the lyrical content. So I was just wondering if nursery rhymes are something that intrigues you because there is a darkness to them.
Yeah, of course. I mean, everything that gets a little twist and that gets your attention a little bit in the music, I'm a fan of. So everything that's a bit special and a bit special, unique, and gets your attention while you're listening to it, I'm a fan.
You mentioned earlier when we were talking about going on tour and being conscious before we even started recording, being conscious about prices and your fan base and being fair to the fan base, but at the same time, obviously, you have to pay the bills. When does the tour kick off? How long is the tour going to be when you guys hit the road? And what are your plans for 2025?
So the tour is starting at the 26th of December, so that's roughly in 2 weeks. And it's 7 days in Germany because we've mostly played in Germany so far. And it's more a tryout because after 1 year of band history, it's not that common to go on a headline tour because it might have been possible that just 20 people come. But at this point, I can say there will be more than 20 people, which is amazing. So that's a very cool thing. It's going to be a great tour. And next year, so much stuff is happening, man. We are playing Wacken, which is insane. We are playing Summer Breeze, which is also a very big festival in Germany. We are playing Rock Castle. We are having some big things planned and that are not announced yet. It's going to be an exciting year.
It is going to be an exciting year, especially when you're mentioning those big festivals. All of them are those are staples, not just in Germany, but staples worldwide. Everybody knows the that festival circuit. One last question that I have for you is: as you look into 2025, as you look into those festivals, do you set your goals for yourself, and what do you hope to achieve, so that you can continue to expand and grow the band?
Not really. I mean, I just try to do because obviously we have a team behind Dominum, that I just try to be able to hold up with them. Because when we are booked on a festival like Wacken or Summer Breeze or whatever, I don't think about, okay, this is one on the checklist. I'm just thinking of, okay, what show can we do then? How can we make it special? So I have like the glasses of an artist on and not of an entrepreneur, let's say, because I just want to. I think it's good as an artist to do art. That's the best mindset, I think. And for all other things, I have great people around me from the label, from the management, from from the booking agency that do a fantastic job, and I don't want to get in their way. I just try to hold up with them and deliver as good as I can as an artist.
And I have full confidence that you're going to do that. Now, the record comes out December 27, just reminding everybody the Dead Don't Die, December 27 on Napalm Records. You're not the first band to release an album around the. I think this is a German thing, by the way. Lord of the Lost has released an album on Christmas Day. Fireschwanz released albums on December 31st. Now, you guys, December 27. I'm totally thinking this is a German thing. You guys have discovered that by releasing an album at a time where nobody's releasing an album, guarantees you to hit number one on the German charts.
Maybe that's a German thing. Maybe you could say that, but it might have also to do with our headline tour because when you go on tour with one record, it's a very sad tour. I mean, I can talk a lot on stage, but I don't want people to listen talking to me like for more than a few minutes. And I could talk to them for 45 minutes, but I don't want to. So this we need more music. But yeah,
Yeah, it's a Dominum concert, not a speaking engagement.
exactly. Exactly.
I love it. Felix, thank you very much for your time, man. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you and to talk to you about the record and about the band. Nothing but luck to you guys. I wish you a wonderful 2025 with great success with this record. And maybe I'll see you and the rest of the zombies at some point in time in the next year.
Yeah. Thank you. It was great fun. Thanks so much.
Thank you.